All right, good afternoon, guys. So here we are looking at BIGRAY1. Glad to have BIGRAY1 back. As mentioned before, or maybe you missed it. Anyway, we had some service issues. Or we had some issues with the car. So the first issue obviously was, if you've seen some of the other videos, I may have mentioned it. The front motor was indicating that it was unable to work. When I looked it up in the manual, it said, well, just don't worry about it. Sometimes it happens. It just goes offline. Well, it didn't just go offline. It stayed offline. All right, so that's one of the issues. Now, the other thing is my daughter borrowed my car to drive out to the shopping center, and she came back. We plugged it in, charged it. No big deal, actually, except when I pulled it out of the garage. So we're going to do light show that evening. Well, I pulled the car out of the garage, and all of a sudden it would not respond. So let's be fair. I parked the car and went back to get my other car to pull it out. When I came back to this car, it wouldn't start. So, as it turns out, apparently the low voltage battery was failing. Now, she had just driven out to the shopping center and back. 12 miles. So, not a big deal. Anyway, there's where we are. That's what led us here. I had to call the roadside service and report that my car would not work. And they sent a tow truck driver out to pick up the car. He hooked it up to a jump pack. And so we got power into it temporarily, but after that, I assumed that battery was just dead. All right, anyway, there we are. That's a summary of what led us to where we are. Anyway, onward upward. Okay, so the most obvious repair done at the service center was the service tech found that the front inverter for the front motor had failed or was faulted. So, I mean, that was expected because I've been driving for a week and a half, whatever it was, with the front motor reporting it was unusable. And I already had a service scheduled to look at that. Anyway, so they replaced the inverter. Okay, the second repair, it was pretty obvious that this was going to happen, I guess. But the low voltage battery had faltered. Basically the 12 volt, but it's actually, I think, a 17 volt. But whatever, it had failed. So they replaced that. Okay, so the third item they listed on their summary was the Pyro Fuse had blown. I don't know what a Pyro Fuse is. If you guys know what it is, let me know. But I have a feeling that Pyro Fuse blowing might have been why the low voltage battery initially lost power. Just a guess. Okay. Obviously, the inverter on the front motor was not a sudden loss of power. But anyway, there you go. There's the three basic items that they did in service. All right, so I looked up Pyro Fuse. Apparently, Pyro Fuse is a fuse having something to do with the high voltage battery. What? Yeah. So, like I said, going to have to drive it some, see what happens. As long as everything's settled down, I guess I'm okay with it. It's just kind of scary that it had something to do with the high voltage. But then again, that's a longer term warranty. Anyway, onward upward. Okay, so there was a fourth item. So the technician took a test drive after replacing the Pyro Fuse and the low voltage battery. And when it came back, they did a alignment. And they found, I forgot which tire, it was one of the front ones was slightly out of alignment. They readjusted that. And I was kind of wondering, why did they do that? And it suddenly occurred to me, maybe the fact that the front motor had a problem was an indication to go back and look at that. Okay. Anyway, those are the four items that they did in the service. So, didn't pay for one bit of it. other than I was out of a car for a week. Actually, I think when they brought it into service, so you can tell with the Tesla app when the car is in service, it says it's in service. Um, so they waited almost a week, but to be fair, it was New Year's Day week, so I mean the week before. So maybe that guy, maybe somebody came in and said, "Let's finish this up," and they got right after it and got done. Okay, so no problems, no worries. Um, on the other hand, I'm kind of wondering with the problem with the front motor if that's an indication that maybe something else is a problem. But I know that they pulled all the records from the car. I mean, I don't know that. I assume they did. I mean, they're professionals. They know what they're doing, right? Anyway, so there we are. And my feeling is this is a pretty rare case, so I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. But it does make you wonder what else might have happened, or what might happen. I like to think that we're done with it, but we'll see. Okay. Oh, well, I guess there is one other thing I might mention, and I'm guessing that they must have had to do something with the front. So I had one of those license plate holders that hooks onto the front grille. That was off when I got the car back. And I'm thinking like maybe I should just use the Tesla one. It glues onto the front bumper, right? The only reason we're doing the hang off the grill is just to have a little bit more sticking out, but whatever. We'll go back to the original planned version. Okay, anyway, there you go. Not a great experience having the low voltage battery fail, but I'll tell you that the roadside assistance pickup was pretty. The guy they sent out, he knew what he was doing. I mean, his job was to pick it up on the flatbed, right? But he knew what he had to do to get the car moved. He had to jump pack. He knew where to hook up to. So they trained that part of it well. They did it well. So I'm very happy with that. The only downside is being out of a car for a week. But they did offer a loaner car. I just told them, well, I have another car I can get by for a little while. If I had known it had been a little bit longer, or the inconvenience of, because now my Model Y is over at the Tesla Service Center, and I have to go back and get it. But, you know, that's just the way it is. And I'll take care of that eventually. So anyway, I think Tesla deserves good marks on what their technicians did. They went through and did everything. There's no cost to me, so which is expected. It's under warranty. The only scary part to me is, well, gee whiz, I've only had the car for 2 months and it's already failed drastically. But I don't know. My feeling on the low voltage batteries, with the power being out, you know, that just caused some kind of problem. I would like to think that they also checked the rear inverter. Well, they'd probably just check the diagnostics, but the rear inverter, the inverter for the rear motor is not an issue, so I don't think that's an issue there. So there we are. Time to do some driving and find out if things are up to spec. Anyway, onward, upwards, charge.